Hello, hello, me again. The last video left us here in the design view of the table, so that's where I am starting this video. And we need to make some refinements to some of these fields. Now, you are required to make two captions. Let's do those first. To tell you the truth, when I made up this homework assignment, I didn't think it through really thoroughly, and putting captions on these fields is sort of arbitrary, but let me just show you how to do it anyway. Think of a caption as something that makes a field name fit a little better on the top of a column or into a form or a report, or it just makes maybe a field name easier to read for the users. I'm going to take the abbreviation approach right now. Let's work with Critter ID, so I'll click on that field to let the computer know I'm going to make a change to that field. Once I've clicked on that field, I come down to the Field Properties area at the bottom of the screen. I click in the caption box, and I'm going to type in the abbreviation C-ID. That's it. I've now just made a caption for that field. Let's make an abbreviation for intake date. I'll click on that field. I'll come down here to the caption box for that field, and I'll type I-date. Putting in the hyphens is not required. It's just a style that I'm using today. It's just my mood. It's not something that you have to do. Alright, that meets the requirements for captions. We were required to do two captions, and I just did two captions. I did one caption for Critter ID, which I typed down here, and then I did another caption for intake date, which I typed right here in the caption boxes. The next thing we have to do is we have to make a lookup for the species field. So I'm going to come here into species, the species row. I'm going to click the data type for species. I'll click that down arrow, and I'm going to click on Lookup Wizard. That starts a small wizard which will help me through the process. The first question is, do I already have the lookup existing in a table somewhere? And no, I don't. I haven't created any special tables to support this work. So I'm going to have to type in the values that I want to show in the lookup. Remember, a lookup is a special menu that allows the user to pick values off of a menu instead of having to type in the data. So I'm going to choose this second bullet and then click Next. At this window, I have to tell the computer what the values are that will show on my menu. So certainly I want to be able to do an intake for a cat and a dog, maybe also a rabbit or a horse, and maybe a ferret. 1 T, I think, on ferret. 2 T's? 1 T. Okay, so now I have 5 animals. That's a good start. I'll click Next. I have to identify what label will show on my forms and reports for this lookup, and I'm going to stay with the same name as the field, species. I am not going to limit to list, which means that if somebody, for instance, brings me a lizard, then I can type in lizard into this field. I can type in something that's not on the list if that's required for the circumstance. If I check this right here, then I could only do intakes on the animals that I've defined. I'll click Finish, and it looks like nothing happened, but down here, if I look at this Lookup tab, these are all the things the computer just did for me. Now is an appropriate time for me to change the field size for this text field, and I think 15 keystrokes is sufficient. I'm going to save my work. I'm going to go back to Datasheet view, and now here's the Datasheet view of my new table, and you can see the captions at the top of these columns. Instead of saying Critter ID, it says CID. Instead of saying Intake Date, it just says IDate. I'm going to stop this video now, and we'll go on to the next task in the next video.